For the contour drawing exercise, you will first be drawing contour drawings of your hands. If you open up the freehand sketching book to page 14, you'll see some examples and there's some text about contour drawing. Contour drawing is similar to negative space drawing, where you are really trying to sharpen your observational skills. You're focusing more on the subject itself than what your pen is producing on the page. So you're drawing slowly and you're kind of allowing yourself that time to really observe the shape of the subject and to translate that kind of through your brain and then all the way down to your hand, to your pen. So here, starting with your hand, it's a nice smaller subject. You obviously use your non-dominant hand to make some sort of gesture, and then you'll sketch with your dominant hand. And notice how these are not exactly perfect, but you can still tell what they are, and they're using, a single kind of line. Now, I don't mind if you pick up your pen a few times, but mostly you're wanting to keep your pen in contact with the paper and really focus on what is the shape, what are the indentions, and the details of the outline. So you're focusing on the outline, but you can see there's some detail here, you're showing some overlapping. If you flip to page 16, there's contour drawings of other subjects. So unlike the negative space, you are drawing the object itself. So you can see the shoelaces here. All the details are added, but not texture. You're not adding texture, you're not adding shading or shadow. It's just the line work, the outlines of the pieces that make up the form. So these are really good examples to review first. Then I'm going to draw one example, or at least get started on one example, the flamingo. So we'll be going to a couple of different spots to draw large sculptural objects. So once you're done with your hands, we're going to move on to these large sculptural objects. And so one of them is Calder's flamingo. And so you can see how slow I'm going, and I'm looking really closely at the subject. And I'm starting with the overall outline, similar to negative space. So trying to get the overall shape. Not worrying about any of the details. And you want to fill your page as best you can. So you'll have 3 pages for 3 objects. And you can, since we're only going to be looking at 2 subjects, you can pick one that you want to draw at 2 different angles. Okay, so still going around. I'm probably going faster than you might go just to get this video. And so I'm seeing where this curve meets up with the top curve. So I'm really looking at the subject, looking back to the paper very frequently. Okay, where does it end in relation to this foot? Where does it end? Okay, and see how it's just one long line. I don't think I've picked up my pen yet. I haven't needed to for this one, but I will when I get to some of maybe the detail lines. Okay, so that's kind of the overall form. But I'm missing some of the overlapping lines, so I will go back, and I see that this one kind of folds in here, connects back this way, and then connects back this way. So I'll start to fill in some of these details. This, back, this. But still using as long strokes that I can. There's an overlapping line here, some structure. You just want to highlight the most important elements with nice steady lines like we've been pressing. These two connect. And notice that it's not taking me very long to get the shape and structure of this. Now you also want to make sure you're showing kind of a landing point. You know, how do these touch the ground? And for the sake of time, I'm gonna move on to the watercolor portion. I would like you to pick one color. We're going to keep things very simple. One color to add. Now you can mix a color and add the mixed color. So I might add a couple other colors here. But just one color so that you can practice adding watercolor to your ink drawings. And focus on keeping it kind of loose. It's not paint by number where you're trying to get every inch filled. Maybe where you see the more saturated color on the subject, you make sure you also saturate it on your paper. But maybe you let some white show through, indicating like some highlights. But I'm just kind of practicing adding some quick color. And remember, when in doubt, use more water to really get the flow of the watercolor. Maybe it can accentuate some of the structure that I'm seeing here. So see how I didn't spend a ton of time adding color. I just tried to saturate and show off the one color that stands out to me. And then as time moves on, we'll of course add some tints, shadow, highlights, and more colors. But for now, we're going to start with base color, such as this.